Good evening. I am Laura Jennings Mitchell, and I am the Executive Director of ABC Counseling. Thank you for coming to our event, Gifts from the Heart. It is because of the support we receive from people like you that we are able to do the work that we do. ABC Counseling and Family Services was founded in September of 1992 by our founder and former Executive Director, Lynn Willard. Lynn recognized the importance of personalizing clients' needs rather than obtaining notoriety. She had experienced firsthand the sorrow of adoptive couples being turned away from agencies because of them being too old to adopt or because of a particular religious affiliation. She had worked with older children placed in adoptive homes who had been sexually abused and found there were no counselors who specialized in sexual abuse counseling. ABC Counseling was founded to meet these needs in our community. ABC Counseling provides services to families that have been affected by sexual abuse, both the child who experiences an inappropriate behavior as well as the child who engages in inappropriate sexual behavior. We also provide general counseling services to children and families for a wide range of issues. At any given time, approximately 350 children are receiving services from ABC Counseling's clinical program. Since 1992, our adoption program has provided services to over 1,000 individuals through the bittersweet process of adoption. We are typically working with around 50 adoptive families and are engaged in support services with approximately 15 expectant and birth families at any given time. Without ABC Counseling, countless families right here in Bloomington-Normal and across central Illinois would not have access to the services that they so deserve.
My name is Melissa Box, and I'm the Clinical Director at ABC Counseling. ABC is in the business of giving children a voice. Many kids come through our doors who have never spoken about what has happened to them. And often they don't have the words, the courage, or the ability to explain and process it. Despite the stereotype of therapy happening when you're laying on a couch and talking about your feelings, most children cannot and will not do therapy that way. Every therapist has a toolbox of interventions, approaches, and techniques that we can use to help children process and talk about their lives. Just like young children process their world differently than adults do, they will process their trauma differently too. And we need to have the tools in our toolbox to help them do that. Last year, our generous donors, including many of you, helped us raise $25,000 to furnish every ABC Counseling office with a play therapy room. From puppets to dollhouses, toy cars to art supplies, dress-up clothes to sand trays, you made it possible for us to provide a space for children to come and try to make sense of what has happened to them in a way that makes sense to them. We have witnessed trauma reenactments with the dolls and watched as children dressed up as police officers and arrested the bad guys, or painted a picture of what their anxiety or depression looks and feels like. This is powerful and meaningful and life-changing for these kids, and we're grateful that you made it possible. Now, we would like to go a step further. While our staff have been trained in sexual abuse treatment using a cognitive behavioral approach, we have provided in-service trainings about play therapy too, but many of our staff are eager to do more for these children. There are evidence-based interventions and therapeutic models that are shown to be incredibly effective at helping children heal from trauma. ABC Counseling has always prided itself on the fact that we have been able to provide our staff with continuing education to help ensure that we're providing high quality and effective services. However, due to the state of Illinois, ABC Counseling's reimbursements from the state are delayed by months, resulting in very limited funds available for staff professional development. Unfortunately, ABC Counseling is not in a position to provide this training and continuing education for all of our staff. Instead, training is piecemeal, as needed and often out of the therapist's own pocket. We are looking to raise money for training and continuing education for our therapists in evidence-based treatment approaches, specifically things like attachment therapy, such as theraplay or trauma-based relationship intervention, the neurosequential model, including eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and play therapy. These therapy approaches are based on the assumption that children are not just miniature adults, and sometimes they need a different way to work through their struggles. Obtaining the credentials and certifications for our staff will enable us to be flexible, responsive, and even more effective in the therapy room, and therefore enable these children to express their thoughts, feelings, and experiences more easily. Many of the assessment tools that we use for gathering information from these young children are out of date, and more current and valid tools cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Obtaining newer assessment tools will help us ask the right questions in the right ways so that children can talk about what happened to them. We have been blessed with many incredible play therapy tools since last year. We can see every day how these are helping our clients have a voice. Empowering our therapists to fill their toolbox with additional skills, techniques, and approaches will be like a megaphone for these children, a way to make sure they are heard.
Sometimes kids are referred to ABC counseling because of suspected abuse, but for various reasons, the child has not disclosed their experiences. These reasons could include the child has been told to keep quiet, they've been threatened, they don't understand the gravity of what's been experienced, they're worried about the consequences, or maybe they're not even developmentally able to find the words to describe their experiences. When these kids come to us, we have to be creative and find ways to empower them to use the voice they already have. A lot of times it's just been silenced. What works for one child may not work for another. Therefore, we need to have an extensive toolbox of resources. I've had the pleasure of working with so many wonderful kids at ABC Counseling. A few of these kids came to us and they were able to sit into my office and already describe their experiences. However, the majority of clients I've worked with have had yet to find their voices when I first meet them. One child in particular stands out in my mind was a 3-year-old female client. Many people ask how you can counsel children who are that young. This child did not possess the ability to process her behaviors or her thoughts and feelings regarding the abuse she experienced. During one assessment tool that included drawing, she was able to describe to me what she had experienced and what she had witnessed. Now, her drawings were not necessarily legible, but as she colored, she explained what the picture was illustrating. It was through this assessment tool and my training that she could share her experiences in a language that made sense to her. Often with older clients, it tends to be more about giving them permission and providing a safe place for them to disclose their abuse. As Melissa has said previously, we use play therapy and training techniques to become better equipped to do our jobs well, to give children space and language to help them share their experiences. In this incident, my young client had experienced significant sexual abuse and witnessed multiple inappropriate acts from the adults in her life. It is our hope that this child will not have to live with the shame, pain, and secrecy that is often perpetuated by sexual abuse. She was able to disclose her experiences through the help of specialized counseling and specialized assessment tools. This job would not be possible without these tools, whether in doing an evaluation for sexual abuse victimization, reactive sexual behavior, youth with sexual behavior problems. I can think of several incidents when our training and assessment tools allowed us to give a voice to those who did not know how to put their experiences into words or how to communicate their feelings about these experiences. ABC does not have special powers. We do not have a magic wand, but our training allows us to be equipped to hold the painful stories our clients have experienced, as well as help them find words to give meaning and power to their experiences. Once they share their experiences, our training continues to provide us with the ability to address the needs that present in counseling, whether it be through specialized training in attachment therapy, play therapy, cognitive behavioral, or DBT, and many other types of training. Not all counseling agencies are equipped to provide therapy for sexual trauma, and I'm so thankful for their experiences and training that I am offered at ABC Counseling.
Growing up here in Bloomington-Normal, I had never heard of ABC Counseling until I was in graduate school. When it came time to select agencies to interview with, I learned about ABC. I was instantly intrigued by this small agency that provided such important services in our community. It was interesting to me that while I had lived here my whole life and had gone to school minutes away from the office, I had never heard of ABC. Since beginning my career at ABC Counseling, I have always said that ABC was one of Central Illinois' best kept secrets. But that's a problem. Sexual abuse shouldn't be a secret. When a child experiences sexual abuse, they deserve to have their voice heard. They deserve to be supported and believed. They deserve to know what has happened was not their fault and that it never should have happened. It is my hope that ABC Counseling is no longer a best-kept secret. It is my hope that every child and family in this town is able to find their voice. Together, we can raise our voices and make a difference to the children in Central Illinois by helping them find theirs.